It's for the meme, of course. Actually, I'll go like that. Give me one more second here. Trying to get shit done. All saber face clear when? I'm not that person you're looking for. Okay, so it's the fairies. So the fairy says, so the prophecies were true. So this child will be the star of our hope. With this, we will be saved. With this, we will be forgiven. Uh, 多くの宝物を乗せた船で海岸に流れ着いた救世主 says a ship that brings aboard many different things, a savior that would arrive from the seashore. They would hear the word of paradise and they will bring it to us. They would chant the names of a promised name. Our lovely Artoria, our blessed art thou. Until you're 16, we hope that you live peacefully. Until you're 16, we hope that the queen and her soldiers doesn't find you. We're going to ring the 6 bells. It is a journey that will save Britain. It is a journey to welcome the true king. Gloucester, Salisbury, Oxford, Knowledge, Norwich, and Orkney. We don't know where the 6th bell could be, but if it's her, she'll pull it off. She was selected by the selection of staff. She is the hope of the fairyland, one and one only. So hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry up and become 16. Because after all, we all believe in her. Town is over. The village is done for. The executioners arrived. Stand up. Hold this wand. It's time for your journey, Artoria. No matter what they say, no matter what they tell you, you are the child of prophecy. Because after all, you look just like her. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm weak. I'm so sorry that I wasn't up to the expectation. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll do my best with the abundance of strength. I'll do my best around the part where I can, yeah. I'll do my best lazily around where I can do. Yum 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 yum. It says Artoria's already asleep. I guess it's in front of the bonfire. I can understand. Oh. Was Was I asleep? Mr. Tristan's little harp play was so relaxing that I'm I'm so sad. I have away. It seems it's different. It seems that you didn't need my harp play to relax your. You didn't need my harp play to relax your exhaustion. But I was trying to do my best to ease everyone's pain. But, haha, I'm so sorry. I'm just not used to music, and it caught me off guard. But I believe being able to sleep with no worries in the world is a wonderful thing. So please, before I go to bed, I would like to hear it one more time. It says, yeah, I'm hurt and I'm disgruntled because Miss Artoria doesn't have a heart of a person who's who wants It's funny because that's double entendre, because technically Artoria didn't know how humans or people felt like, but at the same time Tristan's Tristan's trying to say I'm hurt because she wants to hear it to go to sleep, but Tristan wants you to hear it just to hear it. So he's like, I'm not offended, but I'm offended. Well, it can't be helped, you know. After all, until we get here, we've been walking all day. Hey, who the fuck is this? That ain't fucking whatchamacallit. Who that butterfly? That's a new butterfly. It's a new friend. It says, I know we're all tired ever since the morning events, so let's take a break and sleep over here, and tomorrow morning we'll get into Salisbury. Artoria, Artoria, can you put up a barrier to get the monsters away from us? I know that I'm asking you, I'm sorry that I'm asking you even though you're sleepy, we'll need your help. Yes, then I'm off to it then. Well, now that she's gone, let's talk about this more seriously. While we were coming in here, I met with Artoria, and I've explained the proper human history to Artoria as another world, like a neighboring world, but you know what it is. The reality is far from that. Because the proper human history is the right humanity's history, and it's not something that can be meddled with this fairy land of Britain. And you have to make this Lostbelt disappear, eradicate it, because you guys are Karudea. And you're still struggling to figure out how you can talk to Artoria that, right? You're trying to do your best to not hurt her, per se. Yeah. The fact that if I hide it all together, I feel like I'm going to betray her. I see. And you definitely have been doing this 5 times, haven't you? And every time, you've been betraying and taking one over the citizens of the Lostbelt every time. Oh my, that's quite problematic. Because even though my best attribute is, you know, talking and speaking all day, but it seems I can't find the words to remedy your wounded heart. Very difficult, for sure. So, at the moment, let me just say this to at least ease your pain. Don't worry, Protag. This lost belt will not be eradicated by your hand. After all, it's self-destructing in the first place. It's on a suicide run. Technically, in my opinion, this time, you're going to be saving this world to a certain degree. What? The side of saving? A lost belt? Yeah. After all, this Britain is after all, this place is nothing more than a different path of humanity, right? In a way. It's imperfect, and because it's imperfect, it's a world that will be eradicated if left alone. If I were to say it in one word or one sentence, it'll be a wrong history that gets that'll disappear automatically. その滅びが人類にも波及しかないということでね。人類側の僕たちとしては何としてもブリテンを救わないといけない。It's the problem part is, well, how it quote unquote eradicates itself, right? And the way it's eradicating seems to be quite problematic to the point that it's not that only humans are disappearing, but the entire thing in general. So, even the proper human history as I believe we should save Britain no matter what, even though this might be a wrong timeline. We have to defeat this Britain. We have to defeat this ruler of Britain who has been here for 2,000 years, aka Queen Morgan. Wait, Morgan? Are you saying that Morgan specifically? Yeah, that Morgan specifically. So essentially, Oberon is saying that usually humanity doesn't last long in usually the different timelines, but here the entire Earth itself would disappear or gets eradicated through Britain, so we have to save Britain, is what Oberon is saying. Because it's not just humanity that's eradicated, it's the entire globe that gets eradicated. And then it says, and then Tristan gets triggered, says, Morgan, you mean that Morgan? Yep. The Achilles heels, the Achilles heels of Arthur King's is his biggest its biggest nightmare, that Morgan. In order to obtain Camelot in her own hand, every time she would trap King Arthur to her demise, even taking the seed of the King Arthur, creating its own child, creating the revolutionary, not revolutionary. Fuck, what is it? What was Mordred called? The King and Knight of Rebellion or some shit like that. You know what Mordred's called, and then he's just talking about how Morgan created Mordred. Knight of Treachery, excuse me. Created the Knight of Treachery. Mordred, she's that witch. She's the girl that essentially destroyed destroyed Britain to its utter cast. That is the queen's name that's also going to destroy this fairyland. Well, to make it in simpler terms, I guess it's the Lostbelt king of this world. Queen Morgan a Lostbelt Arthur's enemy, it says, well, from at least the spoken words and tales and legends that I've been hearing so far, I believe most of this irregularity comes from Morgan. We can just defeat Morgan. I think the threat to humanity, or the quote-unquote the proper human history, or pan-human, blah blah blah, could be no of harm. After that, all you need to do is just leave the rest of the fate to this land. Even if it still self-destruct itself, or it bounces back up to try to stand, I think it's not your problem. It's not something that you should be sad about. Because look, the quote-unquote empty tree or whatever, the tree of emptiness, the Lostbelt, in order to maintain a Lostbelt in general, right? What you said? So you see that thing over there, that world tree, or aka Yugudorashiru looking thing, that thing that looks like it's fallen down. I think that's the Lostbelt you're thinking of, but as you can see, it's already withered and gone. So this Lostbelt doesn't have the tree of emptiness for a very long time. Wait, it's already shriveled, or now it's decayed. Did it not once burn or something? Yeah. It was kind of it was burning up a little bit. Yep, it was burning up for sure. Just some time ago. It was pretty funny. It burned up and kind of disappeared all of a sudden. Wonder what it was. But anyway, let's cut the chatter now. It's time for us to go to bed. And if we put too much information in one day, you're gonna get overloaded. So we'll end it by Queen Morgane is ruling the land of fairies, Britain. Let's defeat her. Let's just keep it at that. Plain and simple, right? We'll continue our talk after we get to Salisbury. Besides, once we get to the fairies' town, you'll kind of get to actually feel what fairies are like. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There's a monster, even though we almost finished our conversation. Protag, prepare for battle. I'm so sorry. I messed up the order of the... barrier, so they came right through. I messed up the situation of the barrier, so I created a barrier where we attract the magical beasts. I'm sorry, can you please help me out? It says for our king to ask for help is the greatest, most excuse me. Her and King Arthur are two different things. For something to me to blare out loud, it's quite embarrassing. So it's essentially Tristan's like, oh my god, Arthur is asking for us for help? Yes, we will gladly help you. But Tristan's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You and King Arthur are two different beings. I got too excited. I apologize. So embarrassing. So he says, oh yeah, Tristan getting asked by his king must be happy. Yes, it's only a natural response for any of the Knights of the Round Table to do so. Of course, it is privilege and honor. Hey, they're coming in. Be careful. Britain's beasts are wild. Wasn't Gray's resemblance to Artoria because of her village messing with her face? Not really. It's more of something else. You should read up on that and don't type that shit in my chat. No, I'm more behind than you? What the fuck? This is like chapter 2. But anyway. Yay, we won! It feels good. I'm so happy. This is this is the happiest moment of my life. It was a very clean victory ever since we were summoned. It says, yeah. We've been a very hard battle left and right. Artoria, are you perhaps hating to lose? Dots. You know, it's nothing at all. Nothing at all. It just kind of felt great that I was be able of use. I see. So this is your current strength. So even the night crows, yeah, even against the night crows, you guys are pretty well off, huh? Good. As expected. No, even more. It says the Tristan's arrow strength is weak, but its range is quite magnificent. Therefore, it's useful. Yeah, you're definitely meant for a battle of army, or you're definitely meant to battle multiple things. As long as you're around, I believe we can turn around the concept of old ini muni. Yeah, if you're around, I think we can beat the concept of useless in numbers. It says, and simultaneously, Miss Artoria, you're using some fancy weaponries and fancy stuff. Can I ask what your mysterious tool that you're using? After all, those rare-looking weapons, the first time they see it, it would be effective on the enemy. After all, you can blind them and simultaneously surprise them. And with that, after all, your summoning protag is quite fascinating and funny. The fact that you're able to temporarily summon a servant, that strength and durability and piercing strength was way beyond what I've expected. Because after all, human magic is very ineffective to fairies. But I guess summoning heroes is a different topic. Well, I guess that'll depends on now the problem will all depend on protag stamina. Magical magical amount and luck. AKA your fate. Because I think if the battle were to continue longer, the longer it is, the summoner, your strength and your life force gets drained. I believe if we can figure something out around there, I think we can defeat any type of fairy. To a degree. Excuse me. Did you just say human magic? Isn't magic... Mr. Protag, you can use magic? Well, yeah. With this mystic code, I can barely do so. Are you surprised? Well, I'm sorry. I was just a bit taken back, you know? In Britain, magic aren't used as much. How should I say? Fairies doesn't need magical circles, techniques, enchantments, or mystic codes or mystic codes whatsoever, and they can do it. They can do it naturally without help of divine beings. So magic is considered unneeded, and only the weirdos would use magic, and you'll be labeled as a weirdo. So, well, if you just start to use magic, people would start complaining and saying, "Is that really necessary?" Or people would look at me with wide eye and think I'm crazy. So, I see. That is true to be certain of what she has said. Fairies do not need any technique, magical technique or skill necessary to use the essence of magic. If Britain is considered as a land of the fairies, I believe the value of magic, mage or magic itself, is quite useless to zero. So why are you using it, Castoria? So you're gonna ask that part, right, Mr. Protag? So that's how you're gonna roll. It says so. You're 辻の的な疑問ってやつで悪気がなかったんだろ? Yeah, you never meant to harm or insult Protag or any shape or form. You just answered you just worded your questions wrong, right, Artoria? If it's if it's too difficult for you to answer that, you know you don't have to answer. Protag, this conversation will have another timing for it, alright? So with that says, hey, have you guys all forgotten your true objectives? Right now, we've just prepared ourselves a camping site. Let's go back to sleep now before we exhaust ourselves. Artoria would like to know more about Protag, I bet. But let's keep that on the tomorrow schedule, shall we? Luckily, around here, there's no soldier of the Queen, nor Moss, no revolution army. So, with that said, we can wake up. Once the morning comes, we can wake up. And one more an hour or two pass, and it'll be Salisbury in no time. We can talk about more. Yeah, we can talk more detail there, okay? After all, a fun topic and a fun conversation should definitely happen in a place where it's beautiful and calm, so you can relax to your heart's content, right?